Have you ever thought to yourself as a setter, man, I am sick and tired of setting all my ungrateful teammates. I just want to take the offense into my own hands and get some glory for myself. Well, you have come to the right place, because in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you the top 5 setter dumps every setter needs to know. As a setter myself, who's been playing this position for over 8 years now, I can definitely say that setter dumps do have a value in a setter's arsenal. And knowing a couple of basic ones, and then maybe a couple cool ones as well, is a great way to spice up your offense, throw off the blockers on the other side of the net, and help your team be more successful. If you're a fan of the PME Volleyball content, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what your favorite setter dump in the video is, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And with that out of the way, let's hop straight into it. Now, let's take a moment and let's talk about why setter dumps are important in the game of volleyball. As you know, the main job of a setter is to set the offense. You're supposed to be setting your opposites, your middles, your outsides, getting everybody involved, so that way each position gets an equal part of the offense. And what you want to do as a setter is distribute your offense evenly so everybody is involved. Volleyball is a game about predictions and being unpredictable. And the reason I love setter dumps so much is because it throws a level of unpredictability into your offense, giving the blockers and the defense on the other side of the net one more thing to worry about. Now, this isn't something you should be doing at every single opportunity you get as a volleyball player. I'm thinking that as a setter, you should be doing this maybe 1, maybe 2 times a set. But I'm telling you that it will work, and it'll play psychological mind games into your opponents, especially if it's done correctly. So, yap session aside, coming in at number 5, we have the Campfire. The Campfire is a great basic setter dump that just throws in a little bit of spice to your offense. If you are warming up to this whole idea of setter dumping, this is a great one to start out and try to begin with. Let's take a walk under the net to the other side of the court real quick. If you come with me right here, as you can see, we have a 30 by 30 area to play volleyball in. This area right here, where all 6 players would be surrounding, is what we like to call the Campfire. This is because the Campfire is a great place where there's open real estate, because most players aren't really worried about defending this area in particular. This means as a setter, if you are able to dump that volleyball over the middle, right here, right behind their heads, in front of the back row players, right in this area, you should more times than not, unless they are expecting it, be able to score some points. So one of the most important parts to doing the Campfire correctly is to disguise it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get under that volleyball just as you normally would when you go to set it. And at the last moment, instead of actually setting that volleyball, whether it be to an outside, a middle, or an opposite, you're gonna turn both your shoulders and your hips. You're just gonna set that volleyball straight over the net, right into the middle, that Campfire on the other side of the net. So this is what it would look like in real time. I'm getting under the volleyball, I'm ready set, I turn my hips at the last moment, and that volleyball goes straight over the net into the Campfire. It's disguised perfectly, and because it was disguised perfectly, the chance for success goes up tremendously. When it comes to efficiency for the Campfire dump, I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 5. I feel like it can be efficient, but it's really only a one-trick pony, so it should work once, but then the other team should catch on to it, and they shouldn't let it happen again. For when it comes to difficulty, I'm gonna give it just a 1 out of 10. I don't think it's super difficult. I think any beginner setter could learn how to do it. Just please do not overuse it. Pick your spots wisely. Maybe do it once, maybe twice a volleyball match, but besides that, doing it anymore would not be a good idea. So the Campfire dump gets a total score of 4 out of 10. I just want to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, my friends over at Victory and their Victory Insoles. Victory Insoles are without a doubt one of my favorite products to use in the entire game of volleyball. They're super easy. All you need is your Victory Insoles, your volleyball shoes, and you have a match made in heaven. You see, when it comes to most volleyball shoes, the insole that's inside is just this flimsy piece of foam. It offers you no support, doesn't help you with any of your vertical jump, doesn't keep you healthy. It really doesn't do anything for you at all. As you can see in my shoe, I already took that foam insole and I threw it out. What I'm gonna do is take my Victory insole, just slide it right in my volleyball shoe in place of that flimsy piece of foam insole, and now I have something in my shoe that could possibly help me jump higher. It can possibly help me feel better as I'm playing the game of volleyball, and I think more than anything, that is super important. Victory insoles are the best carbon fiber insole in the entire world. I highly recommend for any volleyball player out there that might be looking for a volleyball product that could help possibly take their game to the next level, they check out Victory insoles. I got my Victory insoles in my shoes. I'm feeling good, about to do some more setter dumps. If you want to go check out Victory for yourself, there's a link in the description of this video that'll get you a discount off of your very own pair of Victory insoles. Thanks again to Victory for sponsoring today's video. Now that I have the Victory insoles in my volleyball volleyball shoes, I am ready to teach you guys how to do the power tip. Coming in at number 4 on this list, we have the power tip. I'd say from this point on in the video, the setter dumps do get a little bit more tricky and they do require a little bit more skill in order to pull off successfully. The power tip is a great one, and this favors lefty setters in particular because you're already going to be using your left hand, which is your strong hand if you're a lefty, to do the setter dump correctly. Now you have to be careful when you're doing this one because it very easily can become illegal if you do it incorrectly. The rules when it comes to throwing a volleyball are as such. If you take that volleyball underneath it and then go over it and throw it down, that's illegal. You can't do that. But what you can do is you can take that volleyball from the top, push it down. That is completely okay, and that is the idea of what we're trying to go for here. So this is the whole idea for now. What we're trying to do is disguise it. Just like we disguised the Campfire, our right hand is going to play an important part in making this successful for us. We want it to look like we are setting that volleyball up until the last moment when this left hand turns and we push that volleyball just over the net straight down on the other side. The reason it's important for us to keep this right hand up is because the blocker on the other side of the net, if they think we're gonna do a setter dump, literally all they have to do is jump up barely, they're gonna block us and we're gonna be unsuccessful. So what we wanna do is we wanna get under that volleyball, we keep both hands up, but at the last possible moment, we're turning this hand, we're disguising it with our right hand, pushing that volleyball over the net and have the power tip completed. This is what it looks like when you put all that together. You go up, disguise it, push that volleyball over the net, and that should be a point every single time if you do it correctly. This is a great setter dump to do, especially on passes that are a little bit tighter. I wouldn't abuse it. I would do it maybe once a set on passes that allow you to do it, but when it comes to efficiency, I think it's a very efficient setter dump. It'll work most of the times if you do it correctly. I would give it like a 4 out of 5 for efficiency. When it comes to difficulty, it is a little bit more difficult for all you right-handed setters out there. It's an unnatural movement, but you can definitely train it to be successful with your left hand. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 in difficulty. That gives it a total score of 7 out of 10 for the power tip. This next setter dump is called the slam dunk, and it's essentially just taking the power tip and using 2 hands for it. One of the reasons I like it so much is because it disguises your set already perfectly. In fact, when you go up to do the slam dunk, you're already in a position to set that volleyball, and it's just at the last very moment where you're turning both of your hands so you can push that volleyball over the net, and that's the slam dunk right there. This one is definitely situational. It can only really be done on passes that are tight, and you're already gonna have to be jump setting in order to do this, because the only way that it works is to catch the opponents off guard. And the only way to get enough height above the net in order to do this successfully is to, well, jump up in the air. So a happy little medium that I like is jump setting. So you're gonna jump up in the air, act like you're jump setting, but at this very last moment, you're taking both your hands, you're pushing that volleyball straight down over the net, and there you have it. That is the slam dunk. This is what it looks like in real time. I jump set, I go up, I push that volleyball over the net very quickly. It's almost like a grab and throw, but a very quick version of a grab and throw. I'm telling you, in my experience, you won't have a volleyball ref that's stingy enough to call that. And when you go up to joust, and you grab that volleyball and you throw it down on the other side of the net, that's perfectly legal. So therefore, that gives me all the evidence I need to conclude that this setter dump is not only perfectly legal, super effective. Efficiency, I give it a perfect score, 5 out of 5. I think this is a super efficient way to score volleyball points, but it isn't the easiest. For difficulty, I'm also giving it a 5 out of 5. And this is where bonus points come in. I'm gonna give it a bonus 1 point because, me personally, it's my favorite version of the setter dunk. So that gives the slam dunk a combined score of 11 out of 10 points. So let's move on to the top 2. Coming in at number 2, we have the reverse setter tip. The other setter dumps up until this point of the video have been based on power. This one is all finesse. The reverse setter tip is an artwork. It is a piece of art, and it is definitely an effective way to fool the defense on the other side of the net, especially if they are not expecting it. Okay, so the rules change. The other 3 setter dumps have had a lot in common. This one is a little bit different. For example, all you right-handed setters out there are gonna love me for this one. You use your right hand to do this dump. It's not a left-handed setter dump. You're gonna get set just like you normally would, but instead of keeping your right hand up as a decoy, this time your left hand is the decoy, okay? Very important. Remember the offhand decoy. Then what you're gonna do with that volleyball is you're gonna turn this hand, and I guess the best way to explain it is I like to keep these 3 fingers open just like this with my right hand, and I'm just taking that volleyball, kind of cushioning it in those 3 fingers and just flicking it back with the elbow, okay? So you go up, you jump up, you turn this hand, you take that volleyball and you flick it back with the elbow. And if you do it correctly, if you angle your fingers correctly enough, that volleyball is just gonna go straight back into this corner around here. Should catch the libero and the blocker off guard. Nobody should be able to do anything about it. It is a great area of the court to score a point in. So this is what it's gonna look like in real time. I jump up, my left hand's a decoy, I go up, I take that volleyball with my 3 fingers just like this, almost pushing it predominantly with your middle finger. You take that elbow, you just move it back, that volleyball goes straight over the net. There you go, that is the reverse setter tip. And I think you will find success with this a lot of the time. Most of the time, the team on the other side of the net will not see it coming. I'm going to be giving the reverse setter tip a 4 out of 5 for efficiency. I think it can be super efficient, but on the off chance that the libero is camping you and sees it, they can pick it up, and it's not necessarily the most difficult of passes to make, especially when you're reading onto it. For difficulty, it definitely is difficult. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 5 for difficulty. That gives the total score for the reverse setter tip an 11 out of 10, and it just leaves room for number 1 on this list, what in my opinion is my favorite setter dump, the setter swing. Without a doubt in my mind, the setter swing is one of my favorite things to do in the entire game of volleyball. I think it can be super effective. It shows the other team that you are an offensive setter and they are somebody that they need to be keeping in mind when you are running your offense. There's a version of it that you can do where you can disguise it a little bit better. Maybe that pass is a little bit off the net. You go up with just maybe a half swing, and you can still be super effective, completely catch the other team off guard. 9 times out of 10, you won't even have a block up to respect your setter swing. And then we have the more aggressive version of it. This is the type of setter swing you do on a tight pass. You just go up and you gotta kind of create a little bit of an angle for yourself, because if you try and swing straight, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get blocked if that blocker is reading what's happening. But yeah, honestly, you just kind of aim for that 1-2 area of the court. If you're right-handed, you can definitely hit this as well. But if that pass is a little bit tight, you can take a baby 2-step approach, just the final 2 steps in your approach, go up, swing away. Show the other team, the offensive setter, that you are and that they need to respect you. I wouldn't necessarily say that there's like a technique that you need in order to do a setter swing. Honestly, it's just a lot of the same footwork from what you do when you hit a volleyball normally. I think every setter should not only learn how to do it, they should have the confidence to pull it off at least once or twice in a match. It can definitely keep the other team guessing and throw them off, making your job as a setter, setting your teammates much easier. When it comes to the setter dump for the efficiency, I'm not gonna say it's the most efficient thing in the world. I'd say it's maybe a 3 out of 5. There's a very high likelihood of, that not working out. Maybe you get blocked. At least if you do get blocked, then the team has to respect it for the next time that you might do it. But yeah, you could hit that volleyball into the net. It is a little bit harder to pull off. So for the difficulty, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 5. I think it is definitely the most difficult setter dump that we have on this list for today's video, but then it gets a 5 extra bonus points because it is my favorite thing to do in the entire game of volleyball, giving it a total score, and the reason that it is on top of this list, a 15 out of 10. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what your favorite setter dump is in the video, and make sure to subscribe to this channel if you are new. Go check out PME Volleyball Shorts if you are not new. I got plenty more amazing content over there. Thank you, and have a great day.